Hey everyone, and welcome back to another fun episode of Minecraft. This episode's gonna be a little bit different. This was the episode I had actually lost a good while ago, and I don't remember if it's just fishing or what it is, but I lost one of my USB sticks I use for recording, and that's why I was so lax and so hesitant to do videos because it took twice as long for one to just transfer. Reason I have to, that way I can record one, have it going into the computer, dropping the files, deleting the files off of the USB, pretty much clearing it, and then switching back and forth. That way I'm able to go a lot faster. But that's in last year, and as you guys can tell from the uh, title of the video, we're reading the best apparently, or I got an email from the visionary. I might get it about twice, if not three times a month, depending. But yeah, it's the visionary's year in review, and here's what it reads, just with the top captioning of the email: Dear Rev Hayden, or as you guys know me, Rev Nightshader. Well, we did it. Another successful rotation around the sun, if you believe in that sort of thing. As we prepare for what 2023 has in store, we're also taking time to reflect on all that happened in 2022, from a resurgence of the satanic picnic to high-stakes battles over abortion and marriage equality to a once celebrated rap superstar embracing Hitler. There are no shortages of shocking headlines this year. These are the top 100 stories that generated the most interest from the ULC community in 2022. Now, before I continue, this was actually sent to me on December 30th, 2022. So we're only a couple days away from it. So here's the first article, and this is not going to be a very long episode. It's only going to be about 42 minutes, so I got to watch my time here. So, first, lost in translation. The original text of the Bible doesn't say homosexuality is a sin, according to researchers who argue that the translation error is to blame. Could this be true? We're going to get into that, and it's showing a picture of Croatian, or, Croatoan, or Croatians. Okay, so here's the article. A controversial new document makes a shocking claim that, if true, could shake the bedrock of Christianity and Western culture. The film, titled 1946, The Mistranslation That Shifted Culture, claims the word homosexual is not listed as a sin in the Bible because of a mistranslation that happened 76 years ago. If accurate, it could mean that decades of Christian teachings about the evils of homosexuality resulted from a bad translation. It is possible that the countless Christian attacks on the LGBTQ community, the denial of their right to marry, and the persistent homophobia faced by queer folks all stem from a human error 3/4 of a century ago. And for reference, I'm one of the weird people, I think, for how people talk about me. I'm weird because I don't care. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. Hell, you can be bi. I don't care. What you do behind closed doors is between you, the other person, and whoever you pray to. So, like this, say you're Christian and you're gay. That is between you, your partner, and God. I have no right to say anything. I have no right to say, well, that's going to send you to hell. Even as a Christian belief that you are supposed to help spread the word of God, it's none of my business. It's between you and them. So, the people, even the senators, where religion is not supposed to be part of our government, but it strongly is, and I'm very happy that last month, Biden, the president, signed into effect that people who are LGBTQ or homosexual are able to marry equally and have all the rights, which should not have been a thing, but it's there. Everyone should have just been, like it says in the Constitution, the right to pursuit of happiness. So if that means a guy is interested in a guy and they're happy pursuing that, that's what they should have been doing. Same thing with a woman. It doesn't matter. It is between you and someone else. Behind closed doors, it doesn't bother anyone else but you. But if you're that one fucker, and we all know that one fucker, who decides to go out there and just boast that they're gay, that they're lesbian, or this, or this, or this, or they immediately do say, oh, you just don't like me because of this, and no one said a damn thing, I hope you get punched in your teeth. So, back to the article. Just wanted to put that out there because this is going to be a touchy subject. A translation investigation. As the film explains, the word homosexual doesn't appear in the Bible until 1946, when a committee gathered to update the English language version from the text from Greece. It was during the translation for the Revised Standard Version, RSV, that committee made an critical error that would become the launching pad for decades of faith-fueled homophobia. To document claims, the filmmakers argue that the Greek word arsenokoitai, aerokosta, a word invented by the Apostle Paul, was mistranslated as homosexual, when it would more accurately refer to child sex abusers. That simple error, they say, resulted in a sacred weapon the Christians to use as a cudgel against the LGBT community. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 6-9, which states that which types of people enter the kingdom of heaven. Future translations and editions of the Bible have used the word homosexual in other passages as well, but all of these references stem from the original mistranslation. We're talking about a word, a medical term that has a connotation of a group of people that have an orientation, as opposed to what the original Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic texts are referring to, which is an agitator, someone who was an abuser, someone who has abused someone else, and there is a victim on the other side, explains the film director Sharon Roggio, Roggio. Don't know how to pronounce that, so sorry. It's a very different connotation. How did nobody catch the error? You might be thinking, how did that rather important translation go unnoticed? Well, it did, but not until years later, when a 21-year-old seminary student spotted the inconsistency. He then penned a letter to the committee to suggest that it was a serious error to choose the word homosexual in translation. The committee even sought to correct its original error. But by then it was too late. By the 1970s, the belief of homosexuality was sinful had become ubiquitous in Christian circles. What followed was well-documented the rise of the moral majority and the demonized of gay people by many evangelical Christians in the 1980s. A wave of gay panic brought on by the AIDS crisis solidified the gay community as an unbiblical group, but by then, there was no turning back. Critical reactions. The director of the film insists that the film does not exist to bash Christians. She says that it exists to point out bad theology and to, hopefully, convince open-minded Christians that their holy text isn't as anti-gay as they've been led to believe. Even still, not everyone's buying it. Despite the fact that the film hasn't been released yet, there's already a book out seeking to debunk the film's thesis. And the director and the crew have been subject to countless attacks on social media from evangelical Christians who say that actually the filmmakers are the ones with the bad theology. One critic even compared it unfavorably to the conspiracy-laden novel The Da Vinci Code. Considering the film hasn't even been released yet, this is likely to be one of the last times we hear about about this groundbreaking claim. What is your reaction? Is it possible that the source of Christian homophobia comes down to a simple mistranslation? I can fully believe this. Sorry, I'm going right from there into this with a fast segue. I can wholeheartedly believe this because if you look at even how radical Muslims and Islamics, how a lot of them look at the Quran and it says that they need to purge the West because we're apparently evil, and that when you do this, you go to heaven and are given 72 virgins. And I might be wrong on this. It's just what I was taught in school. With that being said, that's a mistranslation. A lot of the people at mosques say, no, this is the radical view. It means we must purge them of their religion and bring them to our religion. Kind of like how it says we must spread the word of God for Christians and Lutherans, how we must show them the path of light. So say I see a Buddhist and I go, hey, you guys are not material, but my God says you can have materials. As long as you pray to him and his son, you may have all your heart's desire. And if you continue to worship him, you go to heaven. And the message is supposed to bring that person in and them go, you know what, you're right. Maybe I am choosing the wrong religion and I'm going to switch. That is what they believe is true. That is just supposed to be, we're supposed to flip them. That's it. But these other people, the radicals, believe, no, we need to blow them up. We need to kill them. They can't be in the West anymore. And that's kind of the same thing. A mistranslation is so easy to interpret. I can't pronounce that word today, but it's just very easily misconstrued, and you can easily fuck up things. And like I said, someone did realize this back in like the 60s or 70s, and then everything happened around it, and people were just like, well, this is what it says. The revision said this is what's wrong, and we believe this, so we are going to stand by it. Which is kind of sad because how many people does everyone know where they were part of a Christian family or a Christian community where they turned out to be gay and they were either shunned, beaten, or worse? I mean, there are still people to this day who aren't Christians where they were told their child is gay or lesbian or bi, that they are completely just shunned from the family. They're completely disowned. And it's kind of sad. Okay, second one is an egg sighting history lesson. It has a picture of an angel on the front holding some flowers. Did you know that apart from Jesus' resurrection, basically everything you love about Easter is we talked about that one. I'm not going to go through that one. The egg represents the rebirth, pretty much. It's a pagan holiday because Easter is also after the pagan goddess Istor. Look up visionary articles, some of my past videos, and we actually go through that. And also the rabbit and the eggs also comes from Istor having a goose that she could turn into a rabbit that still laid eggs. So, yeah, plus the colors mean different things. So we're not going to go over that one because I know I went over that earlier this year. A mysterious bombing. The Georgian Guidestones were destroyed by an unsolved overnight bombing, leading to speculation about the monument's critics. Okay, was God responsible? So I don't know what these Georgia Guidestones were. I don't know if it's Georgia the state or Georgia. Yeah. So on it says, maintain humanity over 500 million imperishable balance with nature. Guide production, wisely improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, and tradition in all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations. This is what it said on the picture here of the Guidestone. Okay, so the article starts with at least part of the granite monument in Georgia seems referred to as the American Stonehenge, was destroyed by a bombing attack in the early morning of July 6th. Yeah. The Georgian Guidestone have sat in a field in rural Elbert County, Georgia, since their erection by an unknown patron in 1980, intended to serve as a compass, calendar, and clock. The 19-foot stone structure is inscribed with messages in 8 languages. Okay. Shit. Well, yeah, sorry, no, I just got a text. Whether, yeah, while they've been controversial since their unveiling in 1980, they received new attention when a candidate in Georgian gubernatorial election called them satanic and pledged to tear them down as part of a platform. Now their wish has come true, at least partially, but why were the stones significant? American Stonehenge is the next part of the article. The Georgian Guidestones were commissioned in 1979 by an unknown individual or group under the pseudonym Robert C. Christian, built by the Eberton Granite Finishing Company for the price many times larger than any prior project the company had ever worked on. The Georgia Guidestones were officially unveiled on March 22, 1980. The mysterious patron, Mr. Christian, said that the ominous group he represented had been wanting to build the Guidestones for some 20 years. In the years since its construction, many theories have been floated regarding who is behind the structure. None have been proven. Calling themselves Guidestones to the age of reason, the massive set of stones seemingly lay out the setting. Sets out a set of guiding principles for future generations in 8 languages, both Western and Eastern. The 10 principles are: here's one, maintaining humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, means no more and having them die and be born. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity, healthy sex life and healthy fitness life. Unite humanity with a living new language. Don't know what that one means. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to break this off in a minute. Okay, so, rule number 4. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with a tempered reason. Don't be too hot-headed over passion, faith, and tradition. Very easy. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts, which we try to do in America but doesn't really work. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in the world court. If there's a problem inside the country, let them deal with it. If there's something that they can't handle, then ask for courts outside to help. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. The Senate. Balance personal rights with social duties, which we've been doing with pretty much what we've been doing with everything going on with gay rights and all that. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. And then there's a side one. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. I think that just means don't humanize everything and kill rainforests and all that. So, cool. The Guidestones also have practical features like an astronomical calendar as well as a sundial, just in case of humanity's destruction, it seems. Which these stones now I'm talking about, I know what they are. I didn't know they were called the Georgian Guidestones. They believed they were stones that were made so, say if there was a nuclear fallout and these stones survived, the generations afterwards would know how to rebuild the world and what they should be striving to rule with. And these are not actually that bad of guidelines. Now, next part is a satanic evil. Almost since the beginning, they've been targeted by conspiracy theorists as proof of a sinister, satanic New World Order plot. The first two principles in particular, keeping humanity under 500 million and guiding reproduction, are commonly interpreted as advocating for a form of eugenics. They gained national attention just earlier this year when a Canada, Georgia governor, Candace Taylor, dubbed them satanic and called for the stones to be destroyed, promising to rid Georgia of the satanic evil and stand up to the Luciferian cabal. She pledged that on her first day as governor, she would demolish the demonic plans for our enemy. Someone apparently saw fit to see the job through themselves. Early on the morning of July 6, 2022, a bomb was detonated at the site of the monument. No injuries were reported, but apparently at least one of the guidestones was partially destroyed. While details are still forthcoming, and Georgian Bureau of Investigation says there are no leads as of yet, the very woman who renewed interest in the monuments only months ago has a divine idea for whom might be possible. And she says, Twitter post, Candace Taylor, God is God all by himself. He can do anything he wants to do. That includes striking down satanic guidestones. And the ending of it is, what do you think? Again, it's no different from people wanting to shoot up, say, Stonehenge, or wanting to go and do some stupid shit because, oh, this to me is satanic. Oh no, this over here is bad. Oh no, I don't agree with that. I mean, think about the statues and stuff that were destroyed from the Civil War in America, that because people thought, oh, that's racist that we have it. Cool. I get it, but that doesn't mean they had to be destroyed. Because this is part of history. Like you heard what it said in the article. These were Georgian, made in 1979, and displayed in 1980. These are pieces of American history where our religion was coming through, and we were starting to bolster behind it. So it is kind of sad that we had to have someone be dumb enough to think, oh, I'll just destroy it and make everything better. We almost lost something that was something that someone built for our next generation, even if you don't agree with it or think it's satanic. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's there for a reason. And as her text said, only God can do it. God can do anything. Yes, he can do anything, but at the same time, he is not a human. And even in the Bible, it says that he does things of his own guiding, which means it is his choice to do what he thinks. And the people who say, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm doing that, oh, I'm doing this, it's not what he wants. There's an old story, I believe, in the Bible, or I might be wrong about this, but there's an old story that I learned in church many years ago. A man who was in the army during the Crusades, he fought and fought and fought, and on the day of his death, he sees Jesus, and he says, Jesus, look at how all I have done for you. God, look how of all the things I have done for you. And Jesus and God look at him and go, where were you when I did all this? Where were you when I did this? And they just say, you did all this for me without me asking. You did all these atrocities without me asking. Where were you when I actually told you what to do? And the man was permitted into heaven, but at the same time, it's like, that's a good question. Like, who do you think you are to do this? So, yeah, I will be back in just a second. I'm going to pause this. You guys won't even notice I'm gone. But I got to go pick up a kid really quick, so I will be back in 3 seconds. Sorry about that, guys. Had to go do something. Okay, our fourth story. I might just want to see how many there are. There are 10 stories, so the next episode actually might be the other half. So, article number 4. Rubber meets the road. A Walgreen shopper was denied condoms by a Christian cashier who said that selling any form of birth control was against her faith. Was the worker in the wrong? Yes. Before I even open this, yes, she was. Reason being is you are in a Yeah, you are in a store. You already know what is going to be happening, what you're going to be selling, especially a Walgreens. You can't go like, well, I'm going to sell pills, but I ain't going to sell condoms. I'm going to sell cigarettes, but not alcohol. I can sell photos, but I ain't going to help anybody with perfume. Like, you work in a store. Shut up, leave them alone, and sell the fucking things. So the article, once it loads up, okay, here we go. It starts with, should retail employees be allowed to refuse service on a faith-based basis? This is a question many are asking after a Walgreens employee in Wisconsin, that's where I am, refused to sell condoms to an unmarried couple because of his religious beliefs. It is now viral, in a now viral tweet, Nathan Pence shared how his partner Jess attempted to purchase condoms at a Walgreens in Hayward, Wisconsin, which isn't far from me. He explained that Jess took condoms and some other things to the checkout lane, where the cashier refused to ring up the condoms, citing his faith. Pence explained that the clerk further embarrassed his partner by offering to ring up her other items and to get her manager so that she can complete her purchase. The widely shared tweet prompted similar stories from others, widespread outrage, and even some upgoing protests. To what extent should retail employees be allowed to refuse selling purchases or selling merchandise because it offends their religious sensibilities? None. They have no right. Fucking no right. If you work in retail, you sell it. You are not, say, a Muslim, you're not a Christian, you are not nothing. If they are buying it, like I said with the whole gay thing, if it is between them and their God, leave them fucking alone. Okay, so here's a tweet before we get to it. It's a picture of Nate Pentes, and it says, we went to Hayward to get some groceries and stop at Walgreens because we had left Jess birth control at home. As Jess was checking out, cashier John told her that he couldn't sell her condoms. I get them from out here. What? We can, but I won't because of my faith. We got them from out here. We can, but I won't because of my religion or my faith. Either way, it's so stupid. It's like, who cares? So it begins with condom conundrum. The viral tweet drove dozens of stories from other shoppers who say they experienced something similar. A TikTok user named Abigail Martin shared her story of being denied birth control refills from cross-wearing Walgreens pharmacists, forcing her to jump through hoops which set her refill back days. Walgreens says none of these employees did anything wrong. Yes, they did. You're running a business. You're not running a mosque or a temple or a church. You're not running anything. Our policies are designed to ensure we meet the needs of our patients and customers while respecting the religious and moral beliefs of our team members, a Walgreens spokesperson told NBC News, referring to the condom issue. The spokesperson claimed that the instances are rare. However, when a team member has a moral or religious conviction about completing a transaction, they are required to refer the customer to another employee or manager on duty who will complete the transaction, which has occurred in this instance. In response, #boycott Walgreens began trending on Twitter, with thousands of social media users vowing to avoid the massive pharmacy chain. Not in the job description. Some ponder why employees with such objections will be hired in the first place. As they argue, shouldn't the duties of an employee include selling every item in the store? The original Twitter user who shared the story, Nathan Pence, fears how such an interaction would go for someone younger or with less life experience. maybe they are not as assertive or whatever the reason is, and that could cause them not to purchase or be intimidated and not don't try to later, he explained. It just kind of appalling that someone would choose to stick their nose in someone else's business in that way. Last part of the article goes, what do you think? Should religious employees be able to refuse to sell certain products they rely object to? Or should employees be required to ring up any item in the store, regardless of whether it's morally agreed to or not? Again, as I said with the whole gay thing, it's not up to you. Like he said, it's like, why would you stick your nose out? And he brings up, Miss Nathan Pence brings up a good question. What happens if this is a younger couple who are about to start having sex, and this person scares them so bad, like, oh no, I'm not selling that, it's against my religion, and they're the same religion, and they start talking, and this person just badmouths them, like, oh, you're gonna burn for that, and it scares them later in life, and then we have an uptick in STDs, in unwanted pregnancies, or yeah, it's like, I get it, in most of the faiths, you're not supposed to use birth control because it technically stops the will of God from creating a child. But at the same time, we don't need a bunch of kids running around with gonorrhea or syphilis because they were too scared to buy a condom because some Walgreens bimbo who cross-dresses and is a complete hypocrite says that, oh, I can't sell you that. No, if you're going to work in a business, you treat it like a business. It is not you buying it, so leave them the fuck alone. Leave the purchaser alone. And our last story is going to be, can you spot the Satanism? It's a really nice picture of a lot of different things. A pig wearing a mask and a cape, two anime kids, two people like nurses or superheroes holding the moon saying stay healthy, bunch of different people just doing regular work, and a heart with a band-aid on it. After the Michigan middle schooler painted a school mural, local parents panicked at the artwork was satanic. Describe it for yourself. Is this mural satanic? No, it's not. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. In the middle school mural satanic, some say yes. Is this mural promoting Satanism? You can be the judge. A high school sophomore in Grant, Michigan won a contest to design a mural in the middle school health center. The team was instructed to include smiling children and to promote stay healthy message. By all inclinations, she included the prompt. However, not everyone was a fan of various artistic liberties she took. Some local parents are outraged at what they claim as a pro-LGBTQ message that is discriminatory towards Christians, as well as some hidden demonic messages. Now, that was intended to be simple and wholesome message for inclusion by the artist has turned into a flashpoint of controversy in a small Michigan town. Jesus Christ. Spot the Satanism. I put my art up there to make people feel welcome, explained the artist at the local school boarding meeting earlier that month. This month. Or that month, sorry, because this is way later. But some say the mural is inappropriate because it contains pro-LGBTQ symbols. For example, one child in the mural is wearing a t-shirt with the transgender pride flag on it. Who gives a fuck? Any other students in the mural is in a shirt bearing the colors of the bisexual pride flag. Who gives a fuck? And others wearing a rainbow leggings. Cool. People wore them before the flag. Other critics turned their focus on something far darker, supposed symbols of Satanism that appear in the design. The two main concepts, or concerns, a demonic-looking face that is incorporated in the center left of the mural, which, as the creator says, the symbol is popular in a Ganesh video game. Yeah, that's just a video game. Yeah, it's just a cartoon face. And the second thing, Hamasa hand, a sign of spiritual protection in many cultures, that is tucked away on the left side of the painting. That is tucked away, a mass sign. Oh, okay, I see it now. Yeah, no, it's not tucked away. It's in there, and that sign is supposed to be for, yeah, like it says, a spiritual protection sign. It's nothing dark about it. Those last 2 points led to the accusation of witchcraft against the teenage artist. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I feel like she did a very good job finding excuses to defend the things she put on, said a local woman, Kathleen Thompson, at the school board meeting. None of us are that stupid. You're making me wonder. Another local woman, Danielle Beit, Beight, so bright, or Beit, said that the transgender flag of the mural was tantamount to promoting mental illness in children. When adults pretend things that are in real life, it's a mental illness. No, she said, we need counselors, we need medications that help the bipolar disorder fix their brains. And one man actually accused the mural of being a message to hate towards Christians. We in our administration should embrace that and get all of the hate material out of our schools, said Nate Thompson at the school board meeting, because it is hate material. Okay, I have a lot to talk about and unpack here. In the mural, is the mural immoral? Despite the grievances of many, some students and parents came to the mural's defense. I am a conservative, right-wing, gun-loving American, said a local woman, Tracy Hargraves, Hargeaves, Hargraves, but I've never seen more bigoted people in my life. We have an array of people in this small town, and I'll be the first one to support our Christian families, but we are not the only ones here. Another student who identifies as queer explained that as someone who is bullied in school, the mural makes them feel included and seen. Directing their comments towards outraged parents, they said maybe you should be more concerned with your child's behaviors instead of what art is on the wall. After the meeting, the district announced that they've reached an agreement with the artists to remove certain elements that weren't part of the initial design pitch, like the demonic mask and the Hamasa hand. The LGBTQ symbols, which are part of the initial designs, are approved previously, will remain, citing their community is civilly respected, or is citing their commitment to civilly respect, understanding, and inclusion. The school says they simply will not tolerate discrimination, harassment, or bullying, whether in word, deed, or in social media. What do you think? Were the symbols appropriate in the school mural, or were these reactions of local parents inappropriate? Absolutely 100% genuine asshole bigots who really need to go back and think about their life. This is to be an inclusive painting. It's not to bash Christians, like we heard in the first article. It's to bring people together, and we have in the United States, a large queer, gay, the LGBTQ community. We have a lot of bisexual people. We have a lot of gay people. Let them have their fucking flags on things. I mean, we put our American flag on almost every fucking thing. Why can't they have one? Why can't they have their flag out and be proud about it? No, instead, you guys have to be the assholes who go, well, we don't agree with it just because we don't agree with it. It's against our religion. Dude, religion is not there to make you hate one another. It's supposed to bring you together, bring you closer to your neighbors. But apparently, these people did not get the message. Even Jesus said, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. Do you wish that be done to yourself? I don't think anyone wants to have their kid go through the hard work of making a mural just so a small community of these dumb fucks can come and shit all over it and say it's satanic. Or I don't agree with that symbol. I don't agree with the leggings. I don't agree. Fuck off. Leave the kid alone. They worked hard on it. You should have been more like, good job. And just left it at that. No one's making you hanging up in your house. Ugh. Well, with that, I don't have enough time for another article. I only got a few more minutes, so I will say next episode will actually be will be the second half of this. We'll just get it done in January. We'll skip January's Universal Life, because I'm looking at trying to do this at least once a week. Get the articles like I used to, record them, and if I need to, I can use one as a episode cover when I'm just recording and I'm just trying to get something out. Because if I'm in a rush, that's what I normally do. Reason why we have so many fishing episodes where I answer things on Yahoo Answer. So, next week we're going to be going and doing it again. So, yeah. As far as I know, that's all I got. So I hope you all had a lovely new year. I hope you guys had a ton of fun. Everyone stayed safe, I hope. And I hope we can get through this year without any more of this bigotry and bullshit. I'm going to be trying to lean a little bit more into this. And I will be having, for these kind of episodes, a way how to get to the ULC to become yourself an ordained minister and perform weddings. And also, so you can also get the visionary articles like I am, to read them yourself and give your own opinions on them. So, without further ado, I know I'm rambling now, but without further ado, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, leave a like down below, subscribe today, and please remember, have fun playing in the dark. I'll see you guys in the next one. Night.
AudioMicro.com